When you're thinking of what to do, you give yourself two options. Do what's harder or do what's easier. Do what you need to do or nothing. Sometimes, which is more dangerous, you give yourself a different option than nothing, the easier option, taking action but nowhere near what you should be doing, and rationalize that it's better than nothing, which that is true, but it's not the effort that you're truly capable of. You settle. Not only that, but then it starts to haunt you and linger in the back of your head because you know what you should be doing if it's important enough. But there is a way to avoid all of this. I let procrastination ruin the sport that I grew up playing for 15 years. Instead of consistently putting in the effort that I knew I was capable of, I went for what was easier. And so even though my parents invested $1,200 into my college recruitment, I ended up settling for the local community college. I didn't even send more than 20 emails to different schools. Normally, it should be in the hundreds at least. I wasted their investment. I didn't do any stuff on my own. From the recruiting process to training on my own, anywhere near as much as I could have and should have. Junior college soccer wasn't bad, but truthfully, I realized that I was procrastinating my choices, just going with the flow and what was recommended. I think that counts as procrastination. Always settling and doing bare minimum. I wasn't committed anymore, so I quit. It was too late and I didn't have the right mindset. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of time investment that you could be spending making money. All because I let procrastination get the best of me. After promising myself that I'd have a different approach to whatever I choose next to pursue in life, which ended up being this channel and self-improvement, I found the simplest and quickest way to beat procrastination every time. The trick is always choose the hardest option and do it as soon as possible. Do the exact opposite of what you probably would normally choose. Bite the bullet as soon as you think of it. Being committed to something means not having to convince yourself. It is a must. I know that's not what we want to hear, but the reality is anything that's worth something is hard. You've got to accept that and submit to it. There's no cutting corners around it. The key is being as honest and ignoring how you first feel about the thing when you're thinking about doing it, because doing the hardest thing will get you the best results. There's a reason why you're thinking about it. Personally, I've been trying to make it a game to test myself. Take it as a challenge. As soon as I remember that I've got to do something, I try to do it right away. This doesn't mean that I'm perfect. Trust me, I'm far from it. I still struggle just like anyone else. I've worn jeans twice in the last 3 years because I hate how they feel, and I get roasted for that from my girlfriend. Some real man shit. Anyways, try not to think of the easier option as an option. Do the 3-2-1 method if you have to. That helps for sure. In my last video, I talked about impulse control. Think about if you shifted impulses from doing the enjoyable things to doing the hard things, you'd be an absolute menace. You'll probably get more done today than you have in this whole week if you're like me. In 1 month, you'll already start seeing massive changes and you're gonna start getting used to always doing it, because behind the hardest things are the best rewards, the quickest rewards. And once you start really seeing the rewards, the motivation really starts to come in then. You're much more likely to continue doing it. Realize too, when we procrastinate, we're just looking for that same feeling of getting a reward, but just in an easier way. That's why video games can be so addicting, because of the constant progress and rewards that you get, or you feel like you get. Now, of course, I'm not a robot. You're not a robot. This isn't supposed to be a complete all-out black pill video. Don't expect yourself to always do what you need to still, and take breaks. Make sure it's still healthy, but there is some truth to it. We could use a little more of it. Also, if you can't do the hardest option right now because of where you are, or you're just actually legitimately busy doing something else, still choose the hardest option in your head and then think about what time of the day and where and when you will do it. Preferably today or tomorrow or whenever you can. Just make sure that it'll fit and work for you. Write it down if you need to, or put it down in your notes in your phone. Schedule it. You'll start to notice a lot less stress, which I think is the biggest benefit. You don't have anywhere near as much to worry about because you already did what you needed to do. The thought that's helped me the most with fighting procrastination is the reality of today being the only day that matters. A lot of the times, the most common rationalization that we tell ourselves is that we're going to do it later. Got an essay due? It can wait. I'll do it Sunday. Go to the gym? I'll start with it next week. I'll start sticking with it next week. I'll start sticking with it for sure. We tell ourselves that we will do it. We know it's what we should do, so we don't deny that it's good for us. We just tell ourselves that we'll do it later because then we'll feel okay about not doing it. Shout out to the bald dude for where I learned this concept from. Being the person who you want to be is doing what that person would do today. All that matters, and what we can control is what we do today. We can't do anything about tomorrow when we say tomorrow, because it doesn't exist. All that ever matters is what we do today. Beat the cycle of avoidance. So impulsively do what's hardest that you can today, because getting to where you want to be is doing the hard things today. I hope that this video helps you take action as much as possible. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like this video. It would help me out a lot. And subscribe if you'd like to see much more content like this. Thank you guys for the insane response to the last video. Really, I can't believe it. It's crazy. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.